Hi everyone, welcome back. I just thought I would send this quick video out. I think it's important that for the start of any season, whether it's in hockey, basketball, football, or any particular individual sports, I think it's important that we walk into the start of each season well prepared. And I think that we look at this for high player performance. I want you to improve certain categories, which obviously I feel the top three here are the most important for any start of the season to get off to a great start. And so number one, when we talk about improving your situation, is bringing that energy and passion and enthusiasm. Every time that you walk into your practice or particular arena or field that you're in a particular sport, that enthusiasm and excitement that you bring, whether it's in practice, whether it's in training, or even coming to game time is a must. And so we have to learn to generate energy, and sometimes as athletes we don't feel great all the time because physically and mentally we're tired at times during the course of a season, but we have to learn to bring that energy and set certain triggers that we know when we walk through for that hour or 2 hours, we give it our all, we bring that enthusiasm to get optimal performance. And I think that certain times when stuff was going well in my own career, I know that I was focused, I felt great, I was looking after my body, the nutrition part of it, I was eating well, and I felt great. And the opposite of it, when things aren't going well, if you look at what you're eating, what you're doing in your spare time, and look at the level of energy you bring when things aren't going well, and definitely you can understand what the result is of that. And so I think it's important that we learn to bring that energy whenever we go into our training or game situation for order to get high performance and the results that we want. Number two, I think is so important, is that we need to get clear and get focused as to what we want to achieve, what we're moving towards. And I think a lot of times, whether you're in sports or in business, definitely when I work with clients, I ask them, what do you want to get? What is the ultimate outcome? And a lot of times, kids, parents, they don't know what they want to achieve. And so if they don't know, we're just reacting to other people's wants and needs, and we don't get specific as to what we need to focus on in order to get the results we want. So if we learn this skill of getting focused, getting clear, writing it out weekly, when you're in my mentor programs, obviously we're on a strict schedule where every week you receive a certain productivity worksheet that what's expected, what we're moving towards. It keeps you accountable, and you're clear on exactly of what's expected and what you need to be doing on a regular basis. And I think it's so important as parents to relay that message, or coaches to relay that message to athletes, to make sure they hold that in front of them on a consistent basis. And I think that's what's great about enrolling in a mentor program, that you get that help and they hold you accountable for things that you're working towards. Number three, I feel is so important, and this is something that I learned personally that went well at some times, and other times it didn't go so well, is learning to communicate and your communication skills. Whether in sports, business, anything, the great ones communicate very well. Leaders communicate, they know what's expected, they know what they want, they talk with their coaches, they talk with their bosses, and they have that dialogue where they show they care. Whether you're in a team sport and you have to learn to communicate with players that you're playing with, or in an individual sport, learning to communicate with your coaches as to know what's expected, or hey, how you feeling. Always remember, we're always talking about how we can get better, what do we need to do, what do we need to work on, and then we keep moving towards that ultimate goal and purpose. That, you know, why we play sports is to move higher and higher and maximize what we have to offer to get optimal performance. And that's what it's about. It's not about, you know, they talk about peak performance. Peak performance is up and then down and then up and then down. We want to talk about high performance and being a player that performs on a high level, elite levels. We go up and we stay here, and then we keep moving up a bit. Sometimes we're going to have a little dips, but we're not going up, down, and all around. We don't have highs and lows all the time. The great ones that I played with in the NHL, they were very consistent with their play. There wasn't a lot of big dips, ups and downs. Then learning to be consistent, having that communication with your coaches as to what's expected. I think at the youth level, parents, you need to get involved, and don't expect that coaches are communicating exactly what needs to be talked about. I think it's great that on a monthly basis, you have that 2 to 5 minute conversation with the coach, and you have your son or daughter have that conversation. Hey, what's expected here? Am I on par? What do I need to be doing? How do we get better? And I think for the most importantly, it shows that you care to your coach. And that goes a long way in sports. Trust me on this. I've learned from experience too. I was generally a little bit quiet. I didn't say as much. And so sometimes coaches don't know what you're thinking, and then they assume things. And sometimes that doesn't go the way you want it to go. And so learning to communicate on a more consistent basis, whether it's with your coaches, your agents, your trainers, things like that, it goes a long way. So bringing that energy, number one, getting clear as to what's expected for you, not only from your coaches, but you personally, what you want to achieve throughout the course of the year. And number three would be your communication skills. We can all get better in these. If we learn to master these three, you're going to be off to a great start.